Hello, I am Kuko, your announcer for tonight. We have Flambeau versus Winnebago Lutheran Academy. This is a D4 match. Yep, a D4 match. Sorry, there was a little bit of a delay. We're working on stuff, but we should be going soon. We have Greninja for Winnebago and Samus for Flambeau. I played Greninja myself, so I'm pretty excited for this matchup. Greninja is a very melee character, so might have trouble with Samus's long-ranged attacks. We have a fairly even start right now, both at pretty even percentages. That's the amount of damage your character takes. Samus is trying to stay out of the way of Greninja. Greninja's getting in there with his fast movements. Samus hits a missile, charges up the plasma ball, misses an attack. Greninja does not take the opportunity to counter. Samus fires the plasma ball, gets a combo down, but does not get the juggle follow-up. Greninja goes in for an attack. Goes in for another attack. Samus gets a missile down. There's a little bit of a combo. Greninja still in the air. Samus dodges Greninja's attack. Throws Greninja off stage. Greninja gets right back on, however. Samus trying to use those mines to create some distance. Greninja goes flying up into the air. Makes it right back on. Samus is now off the stage. Greninja misses a ledge trap. Hits shield. Samus blasts Greninja into a KO. It is 3 stocks for Flambeau and 2 for Winnebago. Samus is off the stage now. Going flying with every hit. Greninja's making use of Shadow Sneak, which is that little teleporting attack to get around Samus's defenses and missiles. It seems to be working pretty well. Samus counters with a shield and a few missiles. Greninja can't make it all the way up to Samus with Shadow Sneak. Never mind, Samus goes flying. Tries to get some ranged attacks in. Shields on Greninja. Dodges, gets another missile in. Greninja hits that time. Tries to keep Samus off the stage, but only hits the shield. Samus gets a plasma ball hit in. Hits another attack. Dodges Greninja's attack once again, but misses the follow-up. Hits with a giant plasma ball again, almost KOs for a second time, but Greninja makes it back on. There's the KO. It is 3 stocks for Flambeau and 1 for Winnebago now. Oh, never mind. 2 stocks for Flambeau and 1 for Winnebago. Can Winnebago bring it back? Currently only hitting Samus's shield. There's the attacks from Winnebago. Samus lands a missile, but misses the follow-up attack. Greninja dodges the missile, but does not land the hit. Both are at a little bit more of a standstill here. Greninja keeps hitting Samus's shield, which is that little red bubble. Greninja's up in the air now. Samus lands a hit in the air. Greninja makes it back down onto the stage. Ooh, gets hit with the plasma ball for a KO. That is 1 point for Flambeau. Now, after this, since this match is done, each of these players will play until they get 2 points, a best of 3, and then each team will play until each player wins. The winner of that best of 5 will be the winner of the match. Looks like our next match is up. Appears to be the same characters, which is Greninja for Winnebago Lutheran and Samus for Flambeau. During that little waiting period, each player either bans or picks a few stages from a selection based on what might be better for their character or might be worse for the other person. That tends to even out the playing field for each person. Samus is right now trying to keep Greninja at a distance where he can't attack. Doing a pretty good job of it too. Greninja's at a fairly high percentage. Samus remains relatively untouched. Samus goes in for a juggle, misses. Greninja's in the air again. Back onto the stage, Samus is trying to keep the distance. Greninja goes off the top in a KO. That is 2 stocks for Winnebago and 3 for Flambeau. Greninja's trying to get in close once again, but Samus is using that blaster arm for the attacks. Samus, while mainly a ranged character, does have very good melee attacks. Trying to keep Greninja away and not able to hit that teleporting attack. Greninja hits shield. Samus dodges. Greninja's up in the air. Samus misses the attack on Greninja, but hits that one with the giant plasma ball. Greninja makes it back onto the stage. Oh, no! That is a stock on Winnebago. That is 1 stock for Winnebago, 3 for Flambeau. Samus hits another giant plasma ball. Greninja does not make it back onto the stage. That is another win for Flambeau. Since Flambeau was the winner of the best of 3, we will now move on to the next characters. So it might be a little bit of a waiting period. We will hopefully have things set up soon. Looks like our next players are starting with Ike for Winnebago and Pyramithra for Flambeau. Pyramithra is a 2-in-1 character, so you can switch between either Pyra or Mithra. Both have different attacks, but they work fairly similar. For simplicity, I just like to call both of them Pythra. Pythra is doing some ranged attacks to keep Ike at a distance, because he doesn't have much range with that sword. Pythra is trying to keep out of Ike's way and attack after he uses his own attack, because there's a little bit of lag after an attack. Almost KOs. Ike is still going though. There it is. That is 2 stocks for Winnebago and 3 stocks for Flambeau. Pythra is playing fairly aggressively, really not relenting on these attacks. Ike is taking pretty heavy damage. Ike shields, but Pythra shields as well, gets a little bit of a combo in. Pythra is not letting Ike rest. You can see the switch from Mithra to Pyra. Pyra has the fire sword. Ike's trying to get some damage in while avoiding Pythra's attacks. Seems to be getting around Pythra's guard now. Pythra is over 100%, really going flying after each attack. But Ike is going pretty far as well. Pythra goes off the stage, makes it back on with an attack. Ike makes it back on as well. Both shield. Pythra gets down the attack, and Ike goes off the stage in a KO. It is 1 stock for Winnebago and 3 for Flambeau. Again, that is Ike playing for Winnebago and Pythra playing for, another KO. That is 2 stocks for Flambeau, 1 stock for Winnebago. Ike trying to go on the offensive now. Pythra is not letting him rest. Ike goes in for an attack, but misses. Pythra follows up with a combo. Ike hits on shield, but gets the attack down anyways. Ike gets a bit of a combo in. That is 3 moves at a time. Pythra misses. Ike goes in for another attack, but misses as well. Pythra gets down a hard-hitting attack. Ike is in the air, makes it back on, manages to avoid Pythra's attack. Both are trying to stay out of the way now. That is a KO on Flambeau. That is 1 stock to 1 stock, with Winnebago having a higher percentage, but might be able to bring this back. Winnebago goes in for a hit, lands it, lands another one, lands it again, lands it another time. Will Flambeau make it back on? Yes, they will. Ike goes in for a follow-up attack, only hits shield. Pyra dodges that one and lands the final hit. That is a win for Flambeau in a very close match. Right now in this little waiting period, each player will either ban or pick stages depending on what is better for their character or worse for the opponents. After that period, we will play another round. The winner of the best of 3 wins points for their team. I will see you then. appears to be the same characters as the last match. Sometimes players switch to counter the other player more. Ike, by the way, is the character with the red cape. Pyra Mithra is the one with either the green or the fire sword, depending on whether the character is either Pyra or Mithra. It's a pretty strong start for Mithra. Ike trying to keep his distance and attack. Mithra is unrelentless. Ike manages to get a counter down. Mithra counters with a very hard-hitting attack. Manages to hit him right as he gets back onto the stage. Ike is still in the air and goes off the top. That is a KO on Winnebago. It is 3 stocks for Flambeau, 2 for Winnebago, but that might change soon. Mithra manages to dodge the counter and hit back. Ike is up in the air, but oh, no, lands it. Ike goes in for the attack. Mithra is off stage. Misses the attack to get back on, but lands the second one. That is another KO on Ike. Mithra hits very hard and very fast, making her quite hard to counter. It is 3 stocks for Flambeau and 1 for Winnebago. Although with Mithra being over 100%, she goes flying far, meaning it is much easier to get a KO down. Mithra goes in for the attack. Ike misses. Mithra lands it. Ike hits with his sword. Pyra's in the air. Ike misses, gets thrown off the stage, makes it back on. Pyra misses again and gets hit off. That is a KO on Flambeau. 2 stocks for Flambeau, 1 for Winnebago. Winnebago tries to go in for the attack, but only hits shield. It's a double shield hit on that one. Both players hit the shield. Kind of a neutral standoff there. Ike manages to get an attack down, but misses. Mithra hits the attack and KOs. That is another win for Flambeau. Meaning Flambeau has 2 wins for a total of how many points? 6 points. With Winnebago at 0. Now our players are banning and picking stages. As I said before, it shouldn't be too long until the next match. So our new players are ready. It is Piranha Plant for Winnebago and Ike for Flambeau this time. Piranha Plant is obviously the plant with jaws, I think. It has teeth, so probably jaws, maybe. Ike is, of course, the swordsman we saw in the last match, but playing for Flambeau this time. Piranha Plant has some weird movements and attacks with its head. Ike, of course, has a fairly long-range sword, but nothing too crazy. Piranha Plant can extend its neck for long-ranged attacks, and it seems to be doing so in order to keep Ike out of sword distance. Piranha Plant also has a spike ball it can throw around to mess up its opponents and keep them on one side of the stage where it wants them. Piranha Plant hits a spike ball onto the stage while off stage, making a KO. That is 3 stocks for Winnebago and 2 for Flambeau. Piranha Plant attacks with another spike ball. Misses that attack though. Ike goes in for an attack and lands it, almost a KO. Piranha Plant somehow makes it back onto the stage. Piranha Plant is now trying to keep Ike off with that spike ball and neck extension, but Ike makes it back on with an attack. Piranha Plant does not land the spike ball onto the stage this time, but still hits Ike. Ike goes in for another attack at Piranha Plant off stage, hits the spike ball. Piranha Plant trying to use the gas to keep Ike at range. Ike hits the KO this time. It is 2 stocks for Winnebago and 2 for Flambeau. Ike's at a pretty high percentage though, so it might change soon. Ike lands the attack on the ledge, but not a second time. Piranha Plant makes it back on, trying to stay out of the way of Ike's sword. Ike keeps going in for the attack, shields Piranha Plant's attack, but gets hit by that one. Ike goes flying up, makes it back on, but gets hit by the spike ball in a KO. It is 2 stocks for Winnebago and 1 for Flambeau. Ike's trying to keep Piranha Plant off the stage and doing a pretty good job at it. Piranha Plant's still up in the air, makes it back down, attacks Ike, misses the spike ball, however. Piranha Plant is now off stage. Ike misses the ledge trap, however, which is when you try and attack someone right as they're getting back onto the stage. Piranha Plant is going flying, hits the spike ball, however, to get back on. Ike misses the aerial attack, lands another hit. Piranha Plant is trying to stay out of Ike's reach by going off the stage, but it doesn't work. Ike KOs. It is 1 stock for Winnebago and 1 stock for Flambeau. Of course, Winnebago is Piranha Plant and Flambeau is Ike. Ike misses the attack, manages to counteract the spike ball. He's managing to keep Piranha Plant in the air, despite that spike ball flying all over the place. Piranha Plant tries to make it back onto the stage, but doesn't. Manages to avoid getting KO'd with that strong attack. Is still off stage, however, in a bit of a disadvantaged state. Piranha Plant avoids Ike's attack, counters with the spike ball, is still somehow on the stage. Ike goes flying, makes it back on. We could see a KO at any moment here. Both are very high. This is a close match. Piranha Plant attacks well off the stage, manages to avoid Ike's counter, goes off again. Ike misses. Piranha Plant only hits shield, goes flying. Piranha Plant is off the stage. Ike manages to shield the spike ball and hit an attack. That is a KO on Winnebago and a win for Flambeau. That was a very close match, but 1 point for Flambeau. Now, in this in-between state, our players will ban and pick stages depending on what might be best. They may even switch characters. We won't know until the next match, so I will see you then. So each of these little rounds, the next match is starting, each of these little rounds for the team is worth, the first two are worth 3 points. That's why Flambeau has 6 points. The third and fourth match are worth 4 points, and the final match is worth 5 points. Regardless, it is still a best of 5 for the team. We're starting off strong for Winnebago as Piranha Plant. However, Ike for Flambeau seems to be bringing it back very soon. Piranha Plant is already off the stage, trying to get that distance by not even being on the ground. Ike is trying to keep Piranha Plant off, but Piranha Plant makes it back on perfectly fine. Gets in some attacks. Ike counters, however. Gets some damage on, but goes flying because of that spike ball. Piranha Plant attacks again. Ike is off stage and has already sustained quite a bit of damage. Piranha Plant trying to go with quick attacks to get around Ike, but Ike KOs. It is 3 stocks for Flambeau and 2 for Winnebago. Never mind, it is 2 stocks even with a KO from Piranha Plant as Winnebago. Piranha Plant goes in immediately, playing pretty aggressively. Sorry for the sound there. Ike going in for a combo, managing to shield that spike ball that doesn't land the ledge trap. Piranha Plant makes it back on, misses the attack. Is trying to keep Ike off stage where Piranha Plant has the advantage. Ike has a little bit of juggling there. Piranha Plant goes in for the attack, lands it. Ike shields but gets hit again. Ike hits that one though with a KO. It is 2 stocks for Flambeau and 1 for Winnebago. Ike is trying to shield that spike ball and hit the ledge trap, but Piranha Plant is very good at getting around it. Piranha Plant is off stage once again, but Ike lands an attack, trying to keep Piranha Plant off stage, because Piranha Plant has to land eventually. Piranha Plant trying to get the range down on there, but Ike goes in, lands it. Piranha Plant tries to get the spike ball down, but misses. Ike hits the attack, and Piranha Plant KOs. That is another win for Flambeau. That is 2-0 for Flambeau once again, giving their team a total of 10 points. Now, even though Flambeau has technically won, we're going to play out these last few matches because it's fun and we came here for fun. Now we will be switching players, so we will see you after that. This time we have Zombie or Steve for Winnebago and Marth for Flambeau, I believe. I don't know my Fire Emblem characters very well. It's a swordsman. Yup. Steve, or Zombie in this case, is a very unique character, able to mine items from the ground, which allow them to create various things, such as blocks or minecarts, to attack the other character. It seems like that is not giving Zombie the advantage in this case, with already over 100% for Winnebago. Trying to land that anvil from the sky. But keeps missing. That is a KO on Zombie already from Flambeau. That's 3 stocks for Flambeau and 2 for Winnebago. Flambeau is using that range to their advantage, as Zombie does not have much. Manages to get a bunch of hits down, but Zombie lands the minecart attack. Goes back in with the pickaxe, but just gets countered by Flambeau and a KO. It is 3 stocks for Flambeau and 1 for Winnebago. Now Zombie lands the anvil. That is 2 stocks for Flambeau and 1 for Winnebago. Zombie trying to stay out of the way of those long-ranged attacks, but doesn't seem to manage. Tries to get that magma block attack in, but misses. Flambeau is trying to avoid the minecart as best as possible, as that's one of Steve's strongest attacks. Manages to get a little bit of a combo in. Flambeau attempting to ledge trap, but misses. Goes in for the attack again. Steve is off stage, lands the ledge trap this time. Winnebago almost goes off the top of the stage, but makes it back down onto the ground. Gets hit off this time. Makes it back on, however, but gets immediately attacked by Flambeau. Steve trying to stay out of the way and managing in this case. Manages to dodge away from Flambeau's attack. Hit the magma block, but misses the juggle. Lands the minecart, however, in a KO. It is 1 stock for Flambeau and 1 stock for Winnebago. However, Winnebago is at a very high percentage, and there is the KO. That is another win for Flambeau. It appears our next match is ready. Looks to be the same characters. Yep, with Corin, sorry, not Marth, for Flambeau, and Zombie or Steve for Winnebago. Fairly neutral start. Nobody really has an advantage over anyone else in this case. Steve manages to land the minecart, but it doesn't do much good for him. Corin trying to keep Steve at bay, where that minecart is easily dodgeable. It seems as if it's working. Another good advantage to have over Steve is Steve needs to sit there and mine for a little bit in order to get materials. And if you can play aggressive enough to stop that, that really gives you an advantage over Steve. And we can see that here. In addition to it's a KO against Steve. That is 3 stocks for Flambeau and 2 for Winnebago. You can see Corin utilizing that range over Steve as an advantage, as well as the movement, which Steve does not have a lot of. Steve is trying to create distance to get that mining done, but Corin is just playing very aggressively and won't let that happen. Steve managed to make it back onto the stage and hit the anvil. Corin goes flying, almost knocks Flambeau off the top of the stage. Misses the minecart. Corin counterattacks, but gets hit in the minecart again. Ooh, both go flying back at that. Corin misses the energy ball. Makes it back on, giving Steve some time to mine. Now Steve is going on a little bit of an offensive. Ooh, there's a KO, avoiding Corin's attacks in order to get behind and attack for himself. It is 1 stock for Winnebago now after that stock trade. 2 stocks for Flambeau. Will Steve be able to bring this back? Might be able to. Getting some hits down. Corin gets some hits down themselves. Steve hits the magma block. And the follow-up attack. Corin trying to keep Steve in the air. Avoids the minecart. Hits again after missing the anvil. Steve manages to get Flambeau off the stage. Flambeau makes it back on just fine. Now, Steve lands a KO now. It is 1 stock to 1 stock, but seeing as how Winnebago is at a fairly high percentage, that might not be long. Almost a KO there. Steve makes it back onto the stage. Goes in for a little bit of a combo. And another one, somehow managing to stay untouched. Oh, there's the hit with not a KO. Steve manages to avoid the attack from Corin. Until then, that is another win for Flambeau, 2-0. Flambeau now has a total of 14 points. Now we will be switching players. Our next match is starting now with Terry for Flambeau and Cloud for Winnebago. Cloud is the guy with the big sword, and Terry is the guy who just punches things. Terry is very good at getting combos down, but Cloud has the range advantage with that giant sword. Cloud can also do a few various magic attacks, like that one with the green blade thing going across the stage. Terry also has a very similar attack that he is using right now. Cloud also has something called his limit meter, which when that is filled just gives him a very strong super attack. Right now, since he is flashing, it's full, but after he used one of his magic attacks, it emptied, and now he has to charge it again. We have a fairly even match so far, with both being at similar percentages, and a little bit of a funny face-off there. Both trying to stay out of each other's way and use their ranged attacks to start a combo on the other. Terry gets some attacks down, do quite a bit of damage. Terry, although he has very short range with his punches, do a whole lot of damage, as you can see there with that KO. It is 3 stocks for Flambeau and 2 for Winnebago. Winnebago's trying to keep Flambeau at bay here. Trying to keep Terry out of punching range. Both trying to play it pretty safe right here. Pretty neutral at the moment. Terry has that little go button, which also does a very strong super special attack. That will give Terry the advantage if he manages to hit it, but it is fairly hard to get close enough to do that. And Winnebago is trying to keep Terry out of range of that attack. Cloud's limit meter is almost full, which might give him a bit of an advantage and able to bring that stock back. But with Terry's hard-hitting attack, that might not happen. Cloud is off the stage once again, makes it back on, but has to use up his limit meter to do so, and there's a KO. It is 3 stocks for Flambeau and 1 for Winnebago. Winnebago might be able to bring it back, however. Terry's at a fairly high percentage. Cloud's trying to play it safe again. But Terry gets in behind him and lands the attack. And another one. That is a KO for Flambeau. Flambeau wins with 3 stocks. And manages to secure a point. Now that our characters are banning and picking stages once again, we might see a character switch, we might not. We won't know until the next match starts. Alright, it appears we have a character switch this time with Kazuya for Flambeau and Cloud Still for Winnebago. Kazuya is a fairly unique character. In order to attack, he has to input very specific button combinations, giving him, I believe, the most attacks in the game. I could be wrong about that. Cloud again trying to keep his distance, as Kazuya is also a fairly melee character with about one ranged attack, which is that beam you can see him firing. Cloud playing a little bit aggressive here, trying to get behind Kazuya and abuse his sword. Cloud goes flying up. Cloud manages to land a hit. And another one, trying to keep Kazuya at range. Kazuya lands that ranged attack. Cloud gets in, however, and lands a KO. That is 2 stocks for Flambeau and 3 for Winnebago. Cloud has his limit meter again, but doesn't land it because Kazuya KOs. That is 2 stocks for Flambeau and 2 for Winnebago now. Kazuya manages to land a bit of a combo and a KO. It is 2 stocks for Flambeau and 1 for Winnebago now. Kazuya getting in that combo once again, which is pretty hard to escape from. Cloud lands a hit of his own and another, but Kazuya manages to dodge the follow-up. Cloud now trying to keep Kazuya up in the air where he can't attack as well. Kazuya gets down that laser beam and hits Kazuya off the top of the stage in a KO. That is another win for Flambeau, giving Flambeau the overall win with a total score of 19 points to 0. A massive win for Flambeau, although plenty of those matches were pretty close. Since that was the final match of the night, we will be ending soon. As always, I am Kuko, your announcer, and I will see you next week for our next match. Bye!